Noses like this, pointing right at you, don't really have any hard edges. Maybe that's why little kids usually give up at drawing a nose seen head on and just end up drawing the nose seen from the side. But you can pin down those soft edges and reduce them to a few hard lines if you break the nose down into a pair of parentheses, a couple of rainbows, and a ball. And that's what we'll cover now. First, start with a horizontal line and draw a pair of parentheses that are roughly 4 letters apart. Next comes the nose ball. Sketch out a circle centered between the parentheses. I drew mine a little below the line, but it can go on the line or a little above it. And you've got some wiggle room with the size too, so feel free to draw yours a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, or a lot bigger, a lot smaller. Next come the rainbows. Start by picking a point spaced a little above the bottom of one of the parentheses. But do not put your point on the bottom of the parentheses, or your nose will end up looking like a chubby bat signal. So again, from a point spaced a tiny bit above the bottom of the parentheses, draw a curved rainbow-like line so that it blends in tangent to the nose ball. Then do the same thing for the other side. And that's it for the basic strategy. But after you practice it a few times, you can tweak each step to create a variety of noses. For example, here I tilted each of the parentheses back a little bit and raised the nose ball above the line. But here I made the parentheses kind of bottom heavy and scooted a bigger nose ball below the line. And depending on how you tweak the parentheses and your nose ball and whether you place the nose ball above or below the line, you can come up with pretty much any nose you want. Of course, after you sketch the core lines of the nose, you can erase most of the nose ball. But if you shade, do try to keep a faint bit of the nose ball unerased. That's because visualizing the nose ball can help you shade the rounded form of the nose. It's also helpful to picture the sides of the nose as a couple of smaller spheres behind the nose ball. Simplifying the nose into 3 spheres like this can really help you with shading such a complex and nuanced collection of curves, which is the nose, especially in situations with light coming from underneath. As for the bridge of the nose, that's tricky because it ends gradually, like a hill. So you should avoid using hard lines to draw it, or it'll look like the nose has hard edges, or is being seen from the side. Instead, you'll want to use shading or a broken line to convey the side of the nose. But where should that shading or broken line go? My advice is to imagine some handlebars that start just below the eyebrows, then plug into the top of the nose ball. Except, of course, draw the handlebars with broken lines, or imply them with shading. And of course, the handlebars, like the rest of the nose shapes, and really all of this face stuff, can vary widely based on the individual. So it's best, after you draw some noses from scratch like this, to try following these same steps while looking at some actual noses. And you can find all kinds of cool nose details that I didn't cover.